Great. So now that we're recording our webinar, I'll provide a brief introduction to East Bay Community Energy and provide a background on today's value proposition, discuss proposed changes, followed by opening the floor for our attendees. My name is Kelly Brezovec, and I'm East Bay Community Energy's Director of Account Services. Please note that, as I said earlier, we are recording today and we'll be posting this to our website, including your comments. Note that during the presentation, all attendees will be on mute. After I provide the background to proposed policy, I'll open the floor for virtual comments. Please be prepared with your name, your organization, and location of your home or business. You can use the Q&A tool to indicate that you'd like to add a comment. We'll be providing 3 minutes for each public comment. I'll also remind you at this point not to enter any personal information besides your name and location in that chat in the Q&A tool, since that will be a public record. So what is East Bay Community Energy? Well, we're the local power supplier for residential and commercial energy customers in Alameda County, its cities, as well as the city of Tracy in neighboring San Joaquin County. Our mission is to provide renewable energy at low rates with the goal of being fully carbon-free by 2030. We reinvest our revenues back into our communities and are able to provide informational updates such as this webinar today. Technically, EBCE is a joint powers authority. We're a local government agency created by the cities and counties that we serve. Local elected our board is comprised of local elected officials like your city council and mayors. In this way, EBCE is similar to a school district, only instead of providing public education, we provide a public option for energy administered at the local level. This graphic shows the components of your electric service. We have generation, and then we have distribution and transmission. EBCE procures energy from resources like wind and solar. That's the picture on the left, which is then delivered through PG&E's lines, the picture in the center, to our shared customers. Electricity plus electricity delivery are billed separately on your PG&E bill, while EBCE provides customers energy from facilities like our Scott Haggerty Wind Energy Center in Livermore. EBCE is locally governed, which allows for public meetings like this one. Next, let's walk through keywords so that we're all using the same language. EBCE customers have two options. First is Bright Choice, which features a 3% rate discount compared to PG&E, and also Renewable 100, which offers 100% California-based wind and solar at 3/4 of a penny per kilowatt hour more than PG&E. By state law, Assembly Bill 117, EBCE is the default power supplier for customers within our service area. Everyone that receives service from EBCE begins on what we call their default service. This is the plan that your local city council selected for your jurisdiction. I'll give you a moment to find your own default service. And note here that if you haven't used our online web forms, our automated phone service, or communicated with our customer service team to make a service choice, you are receiving the default service listed here. And you're always welcome to choose the other plan if you'd prefer to be on Renewable 100 or Bright Choice. Finally, 2 last terms. When we discuss rates, this is the amount that we charge for electricity. Today, EBCE updates our rates when PG&E changes their generation or other generation related fees, which is what allows us to maintain our value proposition. This is the cost savings that customers receive based on their EBCE product. We know that EBCE does bring additional value to our community. However, today we're just talking about this direct financial value, which has been significant. EBCE has saved our Bright Choice customers over $37 million since 2018 when we started service. Next are the staff recommendations for 2023 to 2024. I'll remind you, our fiscal year starts July 1, 2023, and goes through June 30th. So today we're in fiscal year 22 to 23, and we'll be transitioning to 23 to 24. So energy prices are high this year as we look to forecast for the next fiscal year. And this is really no surprise to anyone who's purchased anything lately. But as a result of those high energy prices, we see that PG&E has been increasing their generation rates. Since our rates are tied to PG&E's rates, that means that our rates have also increased. However, we've been able to maintain a 3% discounts. Which brings us to then our recommendation for the next fiscal year. Staff recommendation to our board of directors is to increase the Bright Choice discount from 3 to 5% savings compared to PG&E, and also decrease the Renewable 100 premium from 3/4 of a penny all the way down to 1/4 of a penny above PG&E. We'll also be providing a $50 bill credit to our CARE or FARA customers. Those are our qualified low-income programs. There are other unknowns in the market today. So if our favorable forecast presides, EBCE does expect to be able to provide additional on-bill credits for customers at least once during the fiscal year. Let's take a look at what that bill discount change means as we increase from a 3% to a 5% discount for our Bright Choice service. Customers would see almost a full $1 additional savings per month. As you see here with the monthly savings to PG&E in light blue of today, right around $1.50, we see that going up to well over $2, close to $2.50 for the next fiscal year. The Renewable 100 premium we see for an average customer using just shy of 400 kilowatt hours a month, we see that premium dropping from about $2.75 all the way down to just under $1 per month for 100% renewable energy. Next, we can look at a small commercial customer where we see some similar numbers. This is for a small commercial customer using about 800 kilowatt hours per month. Again, we see that savings number increase from $5 to $9, and that premium drops from $10 to $3. So we're really bringing a lot of value to our customers with this proposed value proposition. And lastly, for our large commercial customers, I do recommend that our large commercial customers give us a call if they have questions, since there's a lot of variables in their bills, including demand charges. Last, just going through a quick timeline here. EBCE started service in 2018 in June to our commercial customers and November for our residential customers. At that point, our Bright Choice discount was 1.5%, and the Renewable 100 premium was at a penny per kilowatt hour. We didn't make any changes to that value proposition until 2020, when due to market conditions, we needed to reduce the discount down to 1% for Bright Choice while maintaining the renewable premium at a penny per kilowatt hour. Then in 2021, we maintained that value proposition and also started serving 3 additional cities. In 2022, so this time last year, was when we were able to start increasing that discount from 1% up to 3% for Bright Choice. And for the first time, we changed our Renewable 100 premium from a penny per kilowatt hour, as it had been for 4 years, all the way down to 3/4 of a penny. The latest proposal adds onto that an additional Bright Choice discount from 3 to 5% and further reduces the premium closer to 0. Now we're entering into the public comment period of the webinar. So on the next slide, I'll show you how you can participate. Please click on the Q&A bubble that you'll see at the bottom of your screen and enter in the information I've listed here, your name, city, and organization, if applicable, into the text box. We'll then call on each speaker in the order received and disable the mute feature so that you're able to speak. Every speaker will be allowed 3 minutes. And if you are getting close to that time, we'll indicate to you when there's about 15 seconds left. Please do note that this webinar is being recorded and will be posted to our website. I'm going to go to the next slide really quickly, just so that we can get through the rest of the slides for everyone, and then we'll come back to this slide so that everyone can participate. So here are the next steps that we'll be taking. We'll be taking this webinar, including the audio recording of your comments and we'll putting that on our website. Then we will summarize all public comments in our staff report to the board. If you would prefer to provide written comments, you may email those to us at public comment, note there's 2 C's in the middle there, at ebce.org. All comments are due by Friday, that's this Friday, June 9th at 8 a.m. I'll return to the previous slide so that you can make your request for public comment. And it looks like the first comment we received is from Charles Mee in Danville. If my colleague could, oh, it looks like Charles, I will answer your question live and then I'll allow you to make a public comment as well if you'd like. Charles says, what is the renewable percentage of Bright Choice? And I will need to look that up myself. I don't have that memorized right now. Actually, you know what, I can go back. The percent of renewable in Bright Choice we had on this slide. So we had, it looks like it was about 40% renewable, not quite 50% renewable on Bright Choice. This would be our 2021 power content label. So the 2022 power content label will come out in October, and you'll receive that in the mail in October. But I think it looks like it's right around 40%. All right, Charles, it is your turn to share your public comment at this time.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm a new resident moving to this area. So that's why I try to learn this, because I learned this a long time ago. I try to catch up with this movement, which is really meaningful. And so also because we are new, maybe we want to kind of get more educated for the local the CCA program, to see how can we, firstly benefit from this program. Secondly, how can we help? How can I help to improve that if I could? Thank you.
Great. Charles, just one quick question while you are on the line. Are you moving to Danville, or are you moving from Danville to somewhere in Alameda County or the city of
Danville? Yeah, I just moved to Danville last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Danville is currently served by another CCA, MCE.
Oh,
and so, yeah, I mean, you're welcome to learn about our services at EBCE. And I will say MCE offers similar service plans with, 100% renewable and some other options. But Danville is in Contra Costa County.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. I got it.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Charles.
EBCE is great.
Great. Thank you. All right. Next up to participate, we have Jim Lutz from Oakland. Jim is a member of the CAC, and he is speaking for himself. Jim, go ahead. You've got 3 minutes.
Let me unmute. Thank you for doing this. I was curious about. I went and wanted to compare. I understand the utility bill, so I'm trying to reverse engineer the PG&E bill, and oh my goodness, it's complicated. There's 27 line items on it, just the electricity, not counting the gas. And I wanted to compare it to a friend of mine who lives in Alameda, so Alameda Municipal Power, and just to see how the rates compared, because I think I mean, I'm not sure we should be comparing to PG&E as our value proposition. And so the PG&E bill was 6 pages long. 1 page of that was gas. So it's 5 pages about electricity. The Alameda Municipal Power, AMP as they call it, I think that's cute. They were 2 pages. And there were 4 line items on that of, how the charges broke down. And on the PG&E one, there were 27 line items. So it's very, very complicated to decode a PG&E bill and try to see what I'm saving from the bill. So, but just as a comparison, the AMP one, the Alameda one, there's an energy charge and a customer charge. At the sort of highest level, on the PG&E one, there's a PG&E electric delivery charges page and an EBCE electric generation charges page. And for my bill, it turned out the generation charges, which I'm assuming are equivalent to the energy charges on the Alameda one. On my bill, I'm the time of use and the renewable 100, but the average cents per kilowatt hour for my generation charges was 13.8. And for the Alameda one, it was 11.7 cents per kilowatt hour. So the Alameda ones are significantly
15 seconds left.
Significantly lower. And that suggests that, to me, that we shouldn't be tying to PG&E. We should be providing rates that make sense to EBCE and keep them lower as is reasonably fiscally prudent. And that's it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Jim. All right, I will keep the line open as I move to this slide, just in case there's anyone on the call that would prefer to share their comments via email. I'll give folks just a minute or two to write this information down, and then this will conclude our webinar. All right, thank you very much for participating today.